Hello, it's Dusty Thunder again with another Reddit story for you. This one is from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Telling My Husband I'm Leaving Him When He Was in the Middle of a Meltdown? My husband and I have been together for 8 years now. I have 2 sons from my previous marriage, 13 and 9, and I just gave birth to me and my husband's daughter 3 months ago. Before my birth and even weeks later, our home life was great. We often had friends telling us they wish they could find someone that made them as happy as him and I made each other. There was hardly ever any disagreements. Our communication was solid. He was fantastic with my boys, attending every parent-teacher conference, doctor's appointment, school event, etc., and took them out often to play baseball and basketball. This all changed after maybe 2 to 3 weeks after I gave birth. He turned angry, depressed, and impatient. Me and the kids started having to constantly walk on eggshells. He became lazy, such as stopping cleaning up after himself or helping around the house, yet still used sentences to my kids such as, "You guys need to pick up after yourself. Me and your mother shouldn't have to follow you around and clean up your messes," when he never cleaned at all. I couldn't even get him to wash his own dinner plate without having a meltdown, basically. Every day he was just angry. If one thing went wrong, like him not being able to find something he set down somewhere, which became an everyday event, he was freaking out, saying things like, "Yep, awesome, so glad life wants to f me over," or, "Why the f does this always happen to me? Can I just have a good day for once?" But he always made it a problem for me and the kids. If he lost something, it didn't matter what time of day it was, he was 100% flipping out and expecting me to find it for him. I even told him my oldest son had to go to the ER because he had a bad rash, and he goes, "Have your mom take him," because he was using my vehicle. On the other day, we'll go ahead and start the red flags now. They've been there for a minute, but it's official. It's official now. It's red flag time. Or the other day, my mood has been soured due to his early morning freak out, and it put me on a rough route. I was exhausted, running on 3 hours of sleep, and he rushed me out of the house to go do his errands with him. I didn't even get out of the car, so it was pointless. And then gets pissed and screams, "What the f is your problem? Can't we just have a good day for once?" As if I'm the reason his life sucks. And this is not the man that I married. So last night around 11:30 p.m., he started freaking out again. He lost an important item he needed for work. He starts slamming things around our bedroom, repeatedly saying things like, "Great, f***ing awesome, love it," until I got up and started helping him look. As soon as I get out of bed, he stops looking and just walks behind me, holding his phone's flashlight. We can't find it. He doesn't go to work as a result. Another trait he's gotten since giving birth, he literally calls out over the wind blowing wrong. I lay back down. He practically body slams the bed beside me, starts huffing and puffing, heavy sighing, growling while practically clawing at his face, talking about how stupid this life is. I asked him to stop and he says, "You." So I tell him I'm done. I'm leaving. And that me and the kids' shit will be out of the home by today. He says, "What the ever," and goes to sleep. There's more, but damn. I wake up at 5 a.m. and start packing. He comes out around 7 asking what I'm doing, and I tell him again that I'm done and I'm leaving. He says I'm leaving him in his time of need, and he would never do that to me. But he kind of did, because I was diagnosed with PPD not even 4 days after giving birth, and he completely overwrote it and made it about him and how much his life sucks. Example, "I know you're feeling some type of way, but I have shit going on too. No one asks me how the I am," or literally making passive-aggressive comments like, "Wish I could sleep all day." When I was 6 weeks postpartum, after I fell asleep on the couch, he does no nighttime duty. There's another red flag. He's doing no nighttime duty? What? As I said, he says I'm leaving him in his time of need and that I should have urged him to get therapy instead of walking away. But his anger has made me hate him. I don't even want to be near him. Edited to add, I'm just going to reiterate what I've said to some commenters. I've tried talking to him about this. It's an immediate blame shift the second I bring up anything that is bothering me. He says I'm attacking him. Says things like, "As if you don't have issues that I have to deal with every day." Tells me it's all in my head, and has even called me a narcissist quite a few times in the past 2 months. Hold up. Can you tell somebody that it's all in their head and call them a narcissist back to back? Isn't that like, it's not an oxymoron, but it's something. Claiming that I'm accusing him of things because things aren't going my way. Often says he does everything and that we, me and the kids, don't respect him. So I have tried talking to him. He's completely defensive and refuses to actually speak on issues. Outside of one single time when he was drinking and admitted that he's being an asshole and that we don't deserve to be treated this way. Top comment, you said I should have urged him to get therapy. So he knows he needs therapy, but for some reason needs you to tell him to get therapy? No, NTA. An adult throwing baby tantrums is not something you need to put up with or something your children should be exposed to. So that's the end. Question number 1. Can men have PPD? can it affect men? I mean, it can be a traumatic event. It is life-changing. There's no way around that. And it is the beginning of having a baby is really tough for both parents. That's no secret. Like, you're both going to be hanging by a thread. You're both going to be at your wit's end. Your nerves are shot. Like, can that be a reason for him being the way that he is? I don't feel like that's accurate, especially since he's not doing night duty. If he's not doing any night duty whatsoever and ends up calling into work a lot, and he's depressed. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's depressed, but he has in his depression repelled everyone around him and then made it their responsibility to make him better. Going back in the story, everything was great. 2 to 3 weeks after the baby's born, this happens. 1 in 10 men suffer from PPD, but he has to be willing to get help. Let's follow this train for a second. He's obviously depressed in some capacity. Let's say he's one of the 1 in 10 that do suffer from male PPD. He still has to be willing to get help because he knows that he needs it. And instead, he's willing to just punish everybody around him. Katie, Opie can urge hubby to get therapy and still leave. Brozo ask on 1 for him. My God, Katie, I like it. I like it. Yeah, he still needs to get help. And you know what? That's absolutely 100% correct. OP, you can still urge him to get help because him getting help and becoming the man that he used to be is the best case scenario for everyone out of this. The win is him actually getting better and this family being repaired. That is the win. But he's got to be willing to do that work. And maybe you're right. Maybe the proximity of him having people around him that he can use as punching bags is the reason that he's not getting better. Is the reason he's not taking the initiative, because he can just push everything out to other people instead of actually dealing with it himself. Even as a married person, your partner cannot be solely responsible for your happiness. You have to be responsible for your happiness. She's not to indifference. She's to resentment. So it's not dead yet. It is not, all hope is not yet lost. There is still time for him to pull his head out of his ass and get this fixed and not lose his family. And sooner or later, he's going to have to do that no matter what, or he's going to have no relationship with his children, right? If he's this bitter old man that just repels everything away from him, he's not going to have any relationships with anybody of value in his life at all. So sooner or later, he's going to have to do this. Why not do it now? Now, the flip side of this coin is, let's put ourselves in his shoes for a second. If he is suffering from PPD and is depressed and feeling helpless and feeling like he's saying here, is it as easy as we're saying it is to get help, to want to get help, to take the initiative to get help? Or like he's saying his partner should have urged him or tried to help him get help? Is there any kind of responsibility on your partner to nudge you along in that time? Ultimately, it comes down to the individual. Like, they have to realize what's going on, realize the damage that's being done, and take the initiative to get help themselves. But if it was my wife, I'd be at least trying to nudge in the helpful direction here. Candy Thunder says she got the ick. Oh, okay. She doesn't want to be with him because of his actions. That is hard to come back from, but I would say that there's a smidge of hope if he owns his shit and works on himself. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that could turn this thing around, is if he actually runs the opposite direction. But there's got to be enough pain to create that change, and an empty house when he's feeling like he's feeling might just be enough pain. It might. Am I the astronaut for telling my husband that I'm leaving him when he was in the middle of a meltdown? Nope. It's NTA for me. It's still NTA. I don't think it would have mattered when you said it.